Tyler Song really is an inspiration to millions of people throughout the world, and for that reason, I decided to make this film about his life and really depicted how he became the person that he is today. Tyler is a young boy really worried his mom and his dad. He didn't have many friends and actually didn't want many friends. He'd rather play the piano and rather do arts at the time. And Tria gave a sweet prayer one day, actually praying for Tyler to find some friends, and he later did. And Tyler, as many know him, and whoever knows him, became a really popular kid in high school, and every person that meets Tyler absolutely loves him. Tyler's story is really an inspiration to many young children, people throughout the world. He was an artist. He played music. You know, that's not normally the cool thing to do, but he has made it to be something that people just look up to him for. He's perfect in everything.
This film was a great project for me. When the director called me to play the role of Tyler, I hesitated. I wasn't sure if I wanted to take this role, and it was a difficult decision. It required a lot of stunts, required a lot of acting and dancing skills, and I, quite frankly, struggled with the dancing and part of the acting. My lines were really tough to learn. I had to learn how to play the piano, and it was quite an experience, and it's really brought me closer to Tyler Roy Song, the person that he is, and maybe understand a little bit more about his real life.
The day Tyler was born was the 29th of March. March is, as you know, springtime. But we woke up that morning to a horrible snowstorm. And Dallin had just got out the door and just kind of on his way to work. And called me back and I said, I couldn't be better than and it was also a Relief Society day. Back in those days we had Relief Society. My turn. I was that sort of way. Anyway, it was a snowy day when Tyler was born. And when he came, he was a cute little guy with huge big ears, and it was really fun being in the hospital. Poor Alan had been up all night, and he finally got home and he was trying to get some rest, and I called him so he could listen to Tyler's hiccups because they were cute. I thought it was really fun. And he was a cute little boy and big buggy ears and big buggy eyes, and I thought that was fun. And we're actually happy we were born Tyler. But until he got to be about a year and a half, and then, what else? Then he became a monster. And I think it was a creative mind because I kept a destruction list of all of the things that Tyler literally destroyed. And we were trying to build a new home at the time, and one of the things he did was he went into the appliance store, and they had all the price tags on all the appliances, and he went in and he changed every single one around and moved them to the other appliances, and someone probably got a really good deal on a washer because he did that. The most vivid thing he did is Christmas is a Christmas present. I had people coming for dinner one night. About 5 minutes before they were supposed to come, Tyler decided he wanted to explore the Christmas tree. So he went over and he pulled the entire tree down, decorations and all, before all of my company came. That wasn't so fun. We had to Tyler-proof the house because Tyler was very destructive, but I think that was his creative mind starting at a very young age. One time I was changing his diaper and he kicked me in the head when I was changing him, and my contact fell out and it fell right into his mouth and he bit my contact. And had a little football-shaped contact from his, football-shaped cut right from his
I was thinking of Tria the other day when she felt so bad for her brother that didn't have any friends. And I remember my role in that as I was worried about my son Tyler and the fact that he didn't have as many friends as I thought he should have, and that his life would be warped without friendship. So this one Christmas, being worried about that, I decided to buy Tyler a dog and thought it would be a fun surprise for the whole family to have this new dog in our lives, not just to give Tyler a friend, but for all of us. And so I started looking around for a few weeks, and on the board of the church office building, I saw this thing that said free dogs. And so I decided this has got to be a good deal. We were kind of in the mode of buying nothing more than $1 or $2 gifts anyway, so the price seemed right. I went over and saw this little dog, and they said it was like a poodle or something, and I got there and it looked like a poodle to me, but it was a cute little thing, so I thought this is the dog for Tyler. So picked up the dog, kept it at Jeannie's for a day or two, and then on Christmas morning took it over, and the poor dog had been in a box for 3 days, and had been wrapped up with Christmas presents or Christmas wrapping for several hours, and so by the time it got to Christmas morning, and the box was shaken a few times, and Tyler finally opened it and saw what was inside. This poor little thing was so sick, and it was still just a little tiny baby, that about the time that Tyler got it out, started hugging it and playing with it, it threw up all over the carpet. I don't think Becky's ever forgiven me since, but the little dog was a joy for a while with Tyler, and then he went on to other things, and Mom in the end ended up taking care of the dog and loving it and caring for it, and always being so thankful that we had a dog in our family. And so that's my story about Floppy and the origins of our dog. In fact, unfortunately, because of this, I don't think we'll ever have another dog in our lives, and our kids have all wanted dogs. We've never been able to get dogs in any of the kids, all because of Tyler. So anyway, that's the story of Floppy.
Tyler and I have always liked to be musical. He's obviously more talented than I am, but we started off our music careers as little kids going to Suzuki Piano, and we had to go and learn classical music, and we got it for free because Mom would so we did it. And I remember getting up really early, like 5 in the morning before school, and we had to practice, and then Tyler would have to practice too, so we had to time. And as we got older, we would do other musical things. Remember when we were teenagers, we decided that we wanted to go on the church circuit and decided that we wanted to write our own music and sing and just be one of those cool church bands. And that didn't pan out, but a lot of people in the state wanted us to sing, so we kind of went all over the state singing songs together. And that was always fun because we got to be close doing that. Other times that we sang together were in college, and we got to sing in the choir at the U, and that was really fun. So we've always been kind of musical and like to sing and do those things together.
I remember one time going over to Grandma and Grandpa Karshner's and painting some kind of mural with him that he was working on for school, and it was a long and boring process, but I had to impress Tria somehow. Other experiences.
So in other words, you're telling me that if it wasn't for Tyler's mural, you wouldn't have married Tria.
Oh, probably. We're doing a triathlon with him. We did a triathlon when I was, let's see, would have been in I think it was my senior year of high school. And I think I came almost dead last. I don't remember how he did, but he did a lot better than I did.
One of the most important things I've ever learned from my brother is that water is thicker at lower altitudes.
I see you.
Therefore, because it's so much easier to swim through the water up here in higher altitudes than it is, say, down at Lake Powell, we import all of our water, our drinking water, from down south. So Garrett's pee is a whole lot thicker, and the diapers last twice as long because the water is thicker down south. That's probably the most important thing I've ever learned from my brother, is that water's thicker the further down you go.
As Tyler's brother, I've actually just been amazed at everything that he's done in his life. I've looked up to him in everything that he does. We joked around for many years about art and about music and you know, sitting on this rock and all these little things that we've made fun of for in his I Hate My Family stage and whatever. We've joked around about him forever. You know, that he wasn't into sports or whatever like we were, and he really actually has become in recent years really into the sports. But and it's fun to talk to him about that and to joke around with him about BYU and Utah and everything. And I love it. Tyler, as you know, even though we made fun of him for years, and I can honestly say that I'm jealous of him, of the talents that he does have. Yeah, I don't think basketball's getting me too far these days, but I really am jealous of the things that he can do. He is perfect in everything, and it's just an incredible asset that he brings to our family.
I go to the tuxedo sale. Bright yellow, polyester tuxedo clothes, and green pants and orange velvet shirts. And then I was going to this everywhere I went. And they were just completely obnoxious. They didn't care. They walked down through the mall and strutted like they were really cool, and they did that all the time, stuff like that. They had fun with those tuxedos, and they did other things like they went on dates called the Stanley and Marvin date, where they were nerds and embarrassed the girls to death. One time they decided that they would go downtown and park in front of the mall on lounge chairs in their Speedo swimming suits in the middle of freezing cold time. And I'm surprised they didn't get thrown in jail, but they didn't. Those are all some of the kind of different things that we did. Pride was a good experience. Not surprised that they got to miss his talents. These was talents a lot for me. As things in high school, designing t-shirts and if I was to say, out of all of the friends that I have, the memories that I've had in high school, I think Tyler's best friends are one of my favorites of friends because I was around a lot when I was there. I was with friends even to this day. It's my favorite. I think I would love going to Tyler's to where he was.
Best musical thing we ever did was, but it was one of my favorite memories. Is Tyler decided he wanted to have a band, and it was back in the days of Malaysia and his band. He decided to get his Levi acid washed Levi jacket, pull up the collar, and he got all his instruments and all of his little brothers. And they put up sheets and all his lightings, and they videotaped it. Lip sync, and they had their own little band, and they would sing songs, and Tyler looked like he was just in a music video. He thought it was so cool, playing with his hair and singing in the microphone, and Thane and Jordan were playing the guitars, and it was pretty cool. I wish that they would have gotten onto MTV someday with their music video, but never happened. Tyler and I were lucky enough to serve on our missions together, and it was really fun. I remember when I decided to go on a mission, I was really scared that I would take away the thunder of Tyler going, and so I felt kind of bad, and so I had to ask him and see if he felt okay if I served a mission with him, and he was really excited, and that was really fun to share that experience with him. I remember one Christmas, it was our first Christmas out, and I really missed him a lot, so my parents called, when Mom and Dad called, I asked if I could call Tyler in Taiwan, and even though we talked for like 30 seconds, it was so much fun to be able to call him and talk to him as a missionary and just share just a few minutes just together as you know, brother and sister being on the phone. That's something I always remember, not just the phone call, but just being able to be a missionary with him, feeling his strength while I was in Tennessee, and trying to see what he was going through and what I was going through and how they were similar. And I really think that I was a better missionary because I got to do it with Tyler. I love you, man.
Like a spook gallery, a haunted house thing, and it was at 49th Street Galleria, and he met a girl, and her name was Amy Knapp, and so it was kind of fun for him because he could go and be with Amy Knapp, and that was Amy. It was his first kiss. He kissed her at the 49th Street Galleria. At least I think it was his first kiss. He might have done something else, because there was another time that I still don't know if I have the full truth on. We had a movie theater in Sandy, and our kids are not allowed to date when they're 16, until they're 16. Tyler and Matt like these girls, both named Amy, and they went to the theater. They said they were going to the movie on their own, but I'm sure, I'm positive they went to meet Amy
When I was little, Tyler used to put me on his lap while he was playing the piano, and we used to hit one note at a time, and he would be playing this beautiful music of Little Mermaid, or Under the Sea, or Part of Your World, or some part of Little Mermaid song, and he would let me hit one little button at the same time, and we would play the music together, and I remember him always letting me play the piano.
Once upon a time, there's a big boy named Daddy. And Daddy said, no.
Is that?
My mommy is all gone. It's gone. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. How old is Daddy, right?
Say, Daddy is funny.
Daddy fun.
Say, Daddy is nice.
Nice.
Say, Daddy is silly. Does Daddy tickle you?
Yeah.
Say, Daddy tickles me. Can you say, I love Daddy? What's that? Is it a pen? Abby's sign?
Daddy.
Love. Say love. Daddy. Yay.
Yeah, kisses.
Do it to the camera. Yay! Can you sing a song for Daddy?
Yeah.
Okay, what song?
Rudolph.
Okay, sing Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed had a very shiny, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it. All of the others used to laugh and call him. They never let poor join in any reindeer. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, ho, 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 Rudolph, with your
Right.
won't you guide my sleigh?
Nice.
Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with Yippee! Rudolph the red-nosed You'll go down in history like Columbus, huh? Okay, say Merry Christmas. Abby, look right here. Say Merry Christmas.
I decided to swim in high school, and I was really excited to swim, and I loved the workouts, but I couldn't do it as well as some of the others, and so I knew Tyler did it really well in high school, so I asked him to come help me, and he was very willing to come help me and teach me how to dive and to finish and start very well. And so one day we went over, and for a couple hours he took me over to the pool to teach me how to dive, and I really appreciated that day because it was really fun, and by the end of the day I could dive, and it was all perfect, and I didn't have to worry about my next meet.
And Tyler, he's taught me a lot throughout my life. It's been great to have him as a brother, and particularly in a lot of different instances, he's taught me a lot of things spiritually, a lot of things just kind of make life a little bit more fun. One thing in particular, seen behind me, he's taught me about the computers and how to make them interesting. Tyler's a great artist. He's has a lot of talent, and I've really come to love to do those same things that he does with Illustrator and Photoshop, just little things like that. And this past couple of weeks, when I've been able to go to his work and work with him, and get to learn how to do different programs and learn different techniques, and it's uplifting to me, basically, because I see the talent that Tyler has and the different things that he's capable of doing, and it really is amazing when I step back and look at it and think about all he's accomplished. And those are little things. He's accomplished a lot of other much larger things, mainly going on a mission. I remember one particular day in the MTC, I was writing in my journal, and I was struggling a little bit. I don't know if I was just a little homesick or whatnot, but I started thinking about the missionaries that had gone before me, Tria and Brian, you too, did go on a mission before me. But basically, my brothers and sisters and dad and Grandpa Keith, and I was thinking about the title Elder Psalm that was on my chest, and in my journal I kind of mentioned about each one of those that carried the title of Elder Psalm, and I went through Grandpa and Dad, and I came to Tyler, and it was just, I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but I remember for every single one of my brothers I had something, a virtue that they passed on to me that I hope to keep for the next 2 years of my life at that point. And that was a great blessing to me, something I learned when I was on my mission, of how grateful I was for all of my family, and for Tyler at that time, and for him to serve that mission and to lead the pack of brothers to go. That was a very wonderful thing, and I'm grateful for him for that. Tyler, I love you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and I'm grateful for this chance to do this video. I think you'll enjoy it, and I had a lot of fun doing it. It was awesome. Thanks to Thane for putting it together, and I love you.
Oh, while I'm working on flowers, I gotta say one more thing that Tyler did. First of all, I love you very much. Merry Christmas, and you're a great dad. You got cute little kids, and I can tell that they're going to be as smart and as talented as you are, just the way they are right now. But so you're working on flowers, and it reminded me of a story. A few years ago, I had to do the Sterling Scholar flowers, and Dave was the one that took the order, and he screwed it up, and he got more boutonnieres than corsages, and it was opposite. And so I did them a few days in advance because I was going to Florida, and I got him all done and asked if Tyler would take him to the school for me, which he did. Well, I'm not sure if he actually got to school or if they called and asked about it, but anyway, at that time he knew that that order was wrong and that there was more fingers than there were corsages. And so I was informed and I got this call and Tyler said, "Hey Mom, the order is all wrong," and he goes, "But don't worry about it." He says, "I fixed it." And so he had gone and bought more flowers, and luckily I had a few more balls already made, and he put together the rest of those colored flowers. And most people probably didn't even know who it was because he did a great job. Tyler's one that I can trust. I don't think I trust any of the other boys to do my flowers, but I can trust Tyler because he did a great job on it. I really appreciated that you bailed me out of steak on that one. Merry Christmas, Tyler. I love you.
And lately I've been wondering if it's all I can do to hold you and to show you I do. My promise is forever with and lately I've been wondering
Thank you very much.
if it's all
When I first met Tyler,
I
it was
can
the day that I actually went through the temple and Tyler was coming
My
home from his mission. And it was August 4th,
is
1998. And all the while, everybody, Tria and everyone had been saying, "You need to go out with Tyler," and I was going on my mission. Anyway, so I didn't care to, but when I saw him, I just thought he was a really cool guy, and he made me eat crickets or something like that from Taiwan. Anyway, then we went out a couple of times before my mission. We went out once as a pity date when Tria and Corey had to go out, so Tyler had to take me as well, just so Tria wouldn't be alone with Corey. But it was a really fun date, and I thought Tyler was a lot of fun. Anyway, then I left on my mission, and we wrote a couple of letters, and throughout the end of my mission, okay, come here. Abby has a booger. Can I say that out? Come here. And then he was actually there at the airport with Brian and Tria when I got home from my mission. And when I first saw him, I just kind of knew that something was going to happen. I just had a special feeling about him. And we worked together almost every single day after that. A funny story, one time I was going to the U and I had a late night study group for a big exam or something that I had. And Tyler and I had gotten in a fight or were mad at each other or something right before. So I was on my way home and I was driving down through Palisade, and then I saw a big lump of something sitting out on a chair in front of your mailbox. And it was about 2 or 3 in the morning. I had no idea what it was. So I started driving really, really slow just because I was curious as to what this was in front of the Som's house. Anyway, and then Tyler had been out there waiting, wrapped up in a blanket with just his little head poking out for hours and hours for me to drive home so we could make up. And I just thought that that was kind of a funny story. I really didn't know what it was, this big furry something sitting out in front of the street, or in the street. Then anyway, we dated and had a lot of fun, and I was just excited that Tyler lived so close so we could just run back and forth between each other's houses. And finally, I think we decided to get married. Oh, yeah, in fact it was. It was September 30th when he proposed. And it was the best decision I've ever made because he is a great person. Tyler and I were married on December 28th, 2000. I have to make sure I got the year right. And it was really cool because we decided to drive to the temple together early in the morning. So he came and picked me up about 4:30 or 5 or something in the morning, just because we had a very early ceremony. And And it was so neat just being able to be there together, and it was just quiet and peaceful and just us alone. And I remember sitting in the celestial room with him, and we're just sitting there on the couch holding hands, and it was a really special experience because I knew that I had made the right decision and that we were going to be sealed soon after. And our sealing was very cool. I remember a lot of what Brother Winder said to us, and it was just a really neat experience. I remember afterwards when we came out of the temple, it was freezing cold. It was the end of November, and I had a short sleeve wedding dress, and yet I was so filled with the Spirit and with adrenaline and emotion and everything. I wasn't cold at all, so I didn't have to wear a coat. And I was just happy to have Tyler right there by my side. And finally, after a while, I did start getting cold outside as we're taking pictures and stuff. But it was a really cool experience. Then that night, we had a reception and all went well. And except for the bad part was afterwards, Callie, I think it was Callie and Jordan and Rachel and Christy Jansen decorated our car, and Tyler was not very happy. In fact, I was really scared to leave with him. After the reception, I just thought, oh great, what did I do? But anyway, we all worked out just fine, and we had a great honeymoon. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, and we've been married nearly 5 years now, which I can't even believe. The time has gone by so quickly, and we've had so many great experiences together. Can we stop it for just a second? Tyler and I were living downtown, and we decided we were starting to talk about having kids, and we said that we don't want to have kids unless we are in a house, or until we were in a house. And it just so happened within about that same week, we bought our home out in Sandy, and it seemed like Heavenly Father, and then I got pregnant soon after that, so it seemed like Heavenly Father was just waiting to send one of his children to our little family, and everything just fell right into place. And we had Riley on September 25th, 2002, and he was our little angel. He was such a sweet little baby, except for all the acid reflux that he always spit up, and that wasn't very, very fun for us. But he has been such a fun little boy, and he loves his daddy so much. And then Abby was born April 6, 2004. And she, of course, as everybody knows, is our true little angel, but our little devil as well. And the two of them together, they're best friends, but worst enemies, and they have so much fun together, but they hate each other at the same time. So, kind of, I guess, is a sibling rivalry, but a love fest at the same time. And Tyler's been such a great dad to both of our kids. And in fact, just last night I was laying in bed because I was sick, and I heard Tyler take the kids into Riley's room, and he sang some songs with them. I love to see the temple, and I'm a child of God, which are their favorites. They choose them every single night. And then he had prayer with them, and it just made me realize what a great father he is, and how important it is for the kids to have him as their dad, and as such a good example for them. And I'm thankful for Tyler, and I love you very much.
Tyler, I just want to tell you how much I love you. I couldn't be more grateful for you as my brother. I've had many experiences in my life with you, and many things that I will never forget that I cherish all the time. And one of my ultimate favorites, and you said it, you can remember right before my mission, we spent hours of time every single day lifting weights, and neither of us were very strong, and I don't think we were getting too strong either, but I had just a great opportunity to really get to know you even better as a brother, and it was a fun experience for me. And now as we joke around about, sports and things, I really feel that we get closer all the time. I'm grateful for that as brothers. I can see, I'm amazed at the example that you set for your children. I can see that in their eyes, Riley and Abby, how cute they are, and how much they have of you in them. They really are just absolutely incredible kids, and I can see that they're going to grow to be just as talented or more talented than you are. You really are an incredible person, Tyler. I'm grateful for you, and I was grateful to make this really good that pick you as the person to do a Christmas present for. It wasn't the
Say love you.
Thank you.
Come, let's do kisses.